Alright, my YouTube family, welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and like all of you out there, I have certain builds that I use for certain content in the game, and a lot of you have reached out asking me what is one of my go-to builds when I'm farming solo in the summon on legendary difficulty, so that's exactly what I'm bringing you today. Now, as always, we're going to jump right into the details, and if you happen to enjoy this, do me a favor and hit that like button. It truly helps the channel out, and if you want to stay up to speed on all things Division, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button as well. Now we are going to jump right into the build breakdown. After that, I will show you some gameplay footage. Starting with the specialization, you can see I'm using Technician, and I'm using that for a bunch of different reasons. First of all, you get that extra skill tier, which allows you to spec into a different core attribute throughout your build, give you a little more survivability or weapon damage, depending on what you want. The specialization also gives you an extra 12% damage to drones, skill proxies, and robotics, and when you're running legendary, you're going to see a ton of those, my fellow agents. You want to keep your head on a swivel. You also have access to the Talent Overclock CPU, which is going to give you an additional 10% skill damage as well. And always remember, regardless of the specialization you choose, you want to choose this one, but if you happen to choose another, please make sure you have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way you're getting a 15% weapon damage bonus, regardless of which one you're using. Now my primary for this build is the Harmony Rifle. It is one of my go-to weapons when it comes to a legendary build because it has the talent perfectly in sync, where hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds, using a non-shield skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds as well, and damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. Now my secondary is the Capacitor Assault Rifle. This is easily one of my favorite exotics in the game. This is a must-have for every single player out there because it has the talent Capacitance, where shooting an enemy is going to build stacks to a cap of 40. Each stack is going to grant 1.5% skill damage, and not only that, for every skill tier that you have equipped, you're going to gain an additional 7.5% weapon damage as well. So because we are sitting at skill tier 6, we are getting an extra 45% weapon damage on this thing. And for those of you out there who may not have either of these weapons, you can use the Test Subject. That's a great assault rifle. It has the talent perfectly in sync as well. Just make sure you are running in sync, even if it's the regular version. I can promise you that will still get the job done. Now, one thing I like to address anytime I put a skill build together, you can see my sidearm is the TDI card, and that does have a skill tier. However, to be very clear, that skill tier is only active when you are actually holding the weapon, so make sure you take that into consideration anytime you're putting a build like this together. Now moving on to the gear itself, you can see I'm running 2 Empress International and 4 of the Refactor gear set, which you can see on screen right now. Now, the 2-piece bonus is 15% status effect, 3 pieces 25% skill damage, and 4 pieces return to sender. And with that talent, you're going to receive repairs of 10% of the damage dealt of your skills, and your allies are going to receive 20% of the damage dealt by your skills, which is absolutely insane. And for a lot of people out there, like I've been saying, this is going to really help you actually survive on Legendary, even if you're running solo. Next, we have the body armor, which is the first of 2 pieces of Empress. That is going to give us 10% skill health and 10% skill damage, both pieces combined. And as you can see in the body armor, I'm using the talent Kinetic Momentum. When in combat, each skill is going to generate a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1.5% and skill repair by 2%, up to 15 stacks per skill. And one thing you'll notice is that I'm trying to stack skill damage and a combination of skill haste or skill duration on every single piece of gear that I can. And again, you do have a lot of different options. This is how I like to use the build. Now we make our way to the holster, the knee pads, and the gloves. They are the final 3 pieces of the Refactor gear set, which will take us to the backpack, which is that second piece of Empress International. And you'll see in a moment I am using the Talent Tech support, where skill kills are going to give us an additional 25% skill damage for 25 seconds, which is a lifetime in this game. Now that brings me full circle to something I said at the very beginning of the video, and that is the fact that you have so many different ways to put a build like this together. One thing I heard from a lot of players out there was instead of using 2 pieces of Empress, you were using 2 pieces of Hannah Yu, and instead of tech support, you were using the named Bag Force Multiplier, which has the talent Perfect combined arms, and on the chest you were using Glass Cannon, and for you that was just getting the job done, because remember, you can have the talents on this gear set on your chest and your backpack. However, even though the percentage of armor you may get on return is going to be higher when you are wearing that body armor, you're putting out less damage, and it's all relative. So if you're putting out more damage, you're also getting more armor at a faster rate. Again, my fellow agents, you have so many different options out there. Please just use this as a template. And as always, questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know, and I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. Most of you know by now that one of my favorite aspects about putting these build videos together is the family that we have here at the channel. So if you happen to have any tips or tricks you want to pass along to new and returning players, please let me know, as the main goal is to help out as many people as we can. On that note, I want to take a moment as always and thank you all for your incredible support. Please let me know of any other questions you have I did not address. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone. Hello again, my fellow agents. I hope everyone is having a great weekend so far. Please remember, the April Fool's event is still going on in the game. You're going to see here in the gameplay footage, I got an exotic to drop, but it's one of the fake ones. Pay attention to that detail. Now, for those of you wondering how long this event is going to be live, my guess is that it's going to end on Tuesday, April 8th, but at this point, we haven't had any confirmation from the game. As soon as we do, I will bring it to you right away. That's all I got for today, my fellow agents. Thank you again for everything, and I will see you in the next one.